Hello, 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 and welcome to Coffee Time. I'm doing this for all you other people today as the missus isn't here. So I'm doing it for all you other folks. There you go. All 98 of you. Anyway, top news, passing of Shane MacGowan, lead singer with the Pogues, taken from the Irish expression Pogue Mahone, which means kiss my arse. Probably the biggest hit of theirs is the Fairy Tale of New York, which he sang with Kirsty MacColl, which, again, familiarity breeds contempt. But yeah, he hasn't been very well for a long time, and he's passed at 65. Again, for many of us who remember his shenanigans, I'm amazed he got that far. But yeah, a great shame. He was very ill, and yeah, it's another musical legend has gone to the sky. The big band in the sky. Sorry, it's all very slow this morning. Come on, internet. You can do it. Here he is in healthier, younger times. That was Shane MacGowan, who passed today. Another person who passed is Dean Sullivan from Brookside. Again, I actually posted a little video earlier, well, maybe a few minutes ago actually. Dean Sullivan, more familiar to folks as Jimmy Corkill from Brookside. Yeah, he had been battling prostate cancer and succumbed to it. Again, I always loved him in Brookside. I was a big fan of Brookside back in the day. I didn't watch all the later episodes, but when it was first on, it was something that I enjoyed. But he's the last episode, the finale, which was broadcast 20 years ago now. We did that 20 years ago. His final speech, written by Phil Redmond, creator of the show, incredibly political, incredibly prescient to, in regards to how we're living now. I uploaded it as a tribute to Mr. Sullivan and Mr. Redmond, because I think you need to go and watch it, because I think it all is all true, and this was back 20 years ago. So yeah, a great shame. They've been battling prostate cancer for 5 years. So, yeah, oh dear. So, not very good news to start with, but let's see if we can find some other stories now. Blimey, it's getting half cold out, and it's cold in here too. But I'm not going to put the heating on until the kids come home from school. I'm just going to rub my hands together. Oh, good news, everybody. Now, do you remember China was talking about pneumonia? Meanwhile, in Denmark is currently hit by a surge of the same type of pneumonia that has rocked China. Yeah. Health chiefs there say that rates of Mycoplasma pneumoniae, a bacterial infection for which some antibiotics are useless, has reached epidemic levels. Don't panic, everyone. Yeah, so it says here, in a chilling echo of the earliest days of COVID, face masks and social distance are being recommended. I mean, it's crazy. Meanwhile, the Netherlands has reported its own alarming spike in children battling pneumonia, and they're getting reports out of Sweden too. And here is a graph produced by the Danish Statens Serum Institute, which shows the cases of Mycoplasma pneumoniae. Oh God, here we go again. Here we go again. It never ends. It never ends. So yeah. Meanwhile, some cult news. This is the story of Andrei Martinov. He's a locksmith, right? Here he is. And he worked for Her Majesty's Prison, Wandsworth. Right? So he's a locksmith, worked at Wandsworth Prison. What do you think? What do you think he got done for? Yes, he made concrete moulds of a cell key and 2 wing keys, and then boasted of selling them for £100,000 to start a new romantic life in Trinidad. He exchanged flirtatious online messages with a colleague at the Southwest London prison, where he's actually going to be serving his sentence. Oh, the delicious irony there. Because, yeah, he got jailed for 4 years for this. He was employed by management firm Carillion. And, yeah, he shared flirty texts with a colleague, urging her to join him in the Caribbean, where he was going to start a new life. The Lithuanian-born Martinov of Beckton pleaded guilty to 1 count of misconduct in public office on or before September the 12th, 2019, while he was the lock and key controller and made moulds of the keys and then removed them. Prosecutor Richard Job told Kingston upon Thames Crown Court anyone with access to those keys will release any of the 1,500 prisoners and allow them access to the grounds up to the prison wall. And it was Sabrina Garney, this lady here, who he was trying to encourage to run away to the Caribbean with him on his ill-gotten gains. So, yeah. Wandsworth Prison is a Category B prison housing murderers, terrorists and members of organised crime. There you go. And because of this, at least £422,000 has been spent changing 840 locks and 1,172 keys. The maximum sentence for these offences is life imprisonment, and the defence culpability is plainly high, said Mr. Job, who was prosecuting. I think he should have got life. I mean, just that £422,000 has been spent on this. But yeah, Miss Garney reported his boasting, and police raided Marinov's matrimonial home, discovered in a sock drawer the 2 quick-drying cement moulds containing 3 key impressions. Garney said he told me he fancied me and he was interested in me and made 2 sets of keys and was going to sell them. He was going to sell them for £50,000 each and start a new life. It sounded like a joke and I didn't take it seriously. It didn't sound genuine. Later we had a beer on Wandsworth Common and he said he wanted to sell the keys and that he had a buyer. He said there was a woman interested that we could go to Trinidad, where I'm from, and we could have a comfortable life there. He was very serious and very determined and kept it very casual. Yeah, and then she reported him for it. And yeah, his HMP Wandsworth for your reference. What an idiot. What an absolute moron. Oh dear. Remember, crime doesn't pay. I think that's the lesson there, isn't it? What else have we got? Oh, here we go. Yeah, because it's Brr out there. We've got Brr news. Brr, snow fell across Britain today from Cornwall to the Scottish Highlands, with warnings that temperatures are going to drop to -8. Great. Now this actually reminds me to the first time we got Layla last year. He said, and we can do a bit of classic dog cam, because it was this time last year that we got her, and I had to go walking in the snow, and it was similar weather, so brings back memories. But yeah, very frosty this morning. Temperatures fell below freezing in the capital and will drop to -3 for the next 3 nights, so put your long johns on. More than 30 schools in Cornwall were closed or opening late, and this is snow on the rooftops in Northumberland. This is the village of Swarland. Very picturesque. What else have we got? This is Cornwall, Lou in Cornwall. That's where Andrew's from, if he's watching. Not Lou, but I know he's in Cornwall. Eastgate in County Durham. They've got a little nativity scene there. Feeling very Christmassy there. Again, that's County Durham as well. Dore, near Sheffield. And this is at Windsor Great Park in Berkshire. So we've actually missed it so far. It's just very bright and very cold. Brrr. Again, Northumberland. County Durham. There's a lot from there, from County Durham, Northumberland. And yeah, so we're going to have more of it. Oh well. It's the time of year, isn't it, I suppose. What else have we got? Meanwhile, early animal news. It's not really. I don't know if you could class this as animal news. This is the story of Colin Blake from Cramlington, Northumberland. Northumberland again. He had an encounter with a Peruvian wolf spider, right? And he claims, right? Again, this story is if you're eating, maybe you might want to stop. But anyway, he was celebrating his 35th wedding anniversary on a cruise holiday in France, right? And he reckons that he was attacked by a Peruvian wolf spider, and he claims it laid its eggs in his toe. And he said that pus oozed from his purple foot in a French hospital before one spider tried to eat its way out. After his toe turned purple, he was terrified and rushed to the ship's doctor, who told him that a Peruvian wolf spider had bitten him. And we do have a picture of the said toe. If you're eating an egg sandwich, you might want to stop now. That's put me right off. Apparently milk-like pus came out of it. And here's another angle on said toe. Have you been bitten by a wolf spider and had eggs planted in your toe? Leave a comment in the comment box below. And here is a Peruvian wolf spider. They live in France apparently, and they travelled there via cargo ships. We've learnt something new. We've learnt something new, haven't we? Back in the UK, he was treated in hospital and given a course of antibiotics to reduce the swelling. Once the swelling subsided, the spider's fang marks could be seen, and 4 weeks after the bite, he discovered a foreign body in his foot. He said one of the spider eggs hadn't flushed out and it must have hatched. They believe the spider was making its way out, eating its way out of my toe, but the antibiotics had killed the young spider, and doctors then removed it by cutting open his toe. I asked if I could keep it, but they said no, said Colin, who said to make a full recovery. You could put it in resin and use it as a paperweight. So there. Lovely. Lots of celebrity news. I'm a celebrity, don't watch that. What else have we got? Neighbours from Hell news. I don't know. Again, this is an odd one. This is the story of Kevin and Julia Shepherd, and they bought a coach house dwelling, and the house is actually featured on Escapes of the Country. There was another one that I used to do. I called it was it Make a Miserable Life in the Country? Because it always went wrong, and this has gone wrong because the two have been plunged into a nightmare. It's a Neighbours from Hell style nightmare. Here are the couple. Here they are. Anyway, they bought. Where is it? They bought the property in the middle here. This coach house. It's flanked by two properties, and they're in this property here, which they've renovated, and they say it's worth about £300,000. And then what happened was their neighbour Peter Jennings, who's a millionaire, he was buying up property around them, and they found themselves boxed in. And then he cut off their power supply. Yeah, it's quite a bizarre story. I mean, the couple spent a year or more than 100,000 renovating the property, because it was ruined. It was a ruin, and the original power supply to the coach house was from the main house, right? So I guess it was like there was a meter coming off the main house going to them. And Mr. Jennings, there's a picture of him here. If you see this fella, run away, because he's not very nice. Cut them off. And because there's no right of access, because he owns all the property around them, there's no way of them getting electricity supply to the house. So again, they thought, well, we'd sell it. Here's Kevin standing outside the property. So they thought, oh well, we'll get rid of it. And so then Mr. Jennings puts up signs saying, buyer beware. There's no utility services, no electricity. Yeah. And there is no rights of access, no parking rights. There's a boundary dispute. And they reckon it's because he wants to force them out and buy the property himself for a knockdown price. I mean, wow. Talk about being in a rock and a hard place. And this is why you always check your rights, because again, anyone who's got any right of access to your property, or you don't have any rights of access, just steer clear of, because you end up in a terrible position like this. It's just absolutely bonkers. There's no way out for them. What have we got here? This is the National Crime Agency. They were taking down a suspected £140 million cocaine cartel. Yeah. And the footage that they've released, this is in Felixstowe in Suffolk in August last year, led to the discovery of a 1.3 tonne haul of cocaine. I'll tell you, that's a lot of cocaine for personal use. But anyway, they reckon this video is the calmest drugs bust ever. Now, there is a 1 minute 46 advert on this, which I'm skipping. Allow me to skip. But yeah, this is very calm. It's a very calm drug bust, I reckon. Just knock on the door. See, just lets them in. In America, they've been rappelling down the chimney, wouldn't they? Can you let us in? Just very calm, very calmly. It's very British, isn't it? You know, maybe invited them for a cup of tea and a biscuit, and there they are taking away a suspect. And it's just how we roll over here. We're very gentlemanly, aren't we? But yeah, leading to one of the biggest drug fights in the country. And here is some of those drugs. You'll not snort all those all at once. I pressed the wrong button then. So there you go. Very calm, very calm. A lot of drugs. I don't know if you remember, we talked about the Stratford Sphere. Do you remember that? Oh, the sun's come in again. Oh no. I have to sit back like this and I can't read the monitor. It's like, oh, it's doing that again. The Stratford Sphere was going to be developed. It was like the one in Las Vegas. It's a big dome with LEDs all over it, LED panels, and can broadcast all over the place. This is an artist's representation of it. You can already see what it's like by checking out the Las Vegas Sphere. It's an amazing thing. But they were going to build one in Stratford. Ridiculous place to have it in the middle of a very urban area. And anyway, Mayor Khan put the kibosh on it. He said no. It's there's a bit of to and fro into this, because the £800 million development was originally given the green light by the London Legacy Development Corporation in March. But then Mayor Khan suddenly woke up from his slumber and realised that you couldn't have this because of the light pollution. I mean, I think we'd be able to see it from here. We're quite away. And local campaigners were greatly heartened by this. They thought this was a really good thing. Meanwhile, the Secretary for State for Levelling Up, whatever that is, right, is now considering, right, to actually flip that and get it back on track again. Which, of course, protesters can't believe. They say this is beyond mad because, again, it was a 21,500 capacity venue proposed to be built by the side of the Olympic Park in Stratford. But there are people living around it. But yeah. So Mr. Gove, I guess he's the levelling up guy now, says the Secretary of State hereby prohibits your local planning authority from implementing the Mayor's direction of November 20th to refuse permission. It's like, what? So the sphere might be back on again. It's on, it's off, it's on again. This can't be. They can't be serious. They really can't. They need to put it somewhere else, like the Millennium Dome, out of the way. That would make more sense, where it's not going to be impact on the locals. But I don't know. Meanwhile, this is the true cost of that was Mr. Payne liking a tweet, if he's watching. This is the true cost of people smuggling, and when you see this is absolutely awful. This is in Spain, of Sancti Petri, which is near the city of Cadiz, and well, I'm just going to show you. They're pushing people off the boat into the sea. The people smugglers. Look, off you go, and you've got to swim back. Right, and it was choppy waters, and they reckon that 4 youngsters in the group ended up drowning over this. And this is why this has got to be stopped. You know, this is why these people. I mean, it's mind-boggling that this should be a thing. This should be allowed to happen. People are dying, you know? Just wrong. Meanwhile, do you like vaping? Do you like vaping? Well, UK's top vape brands, Elf Bar and Lost Mary, are dropping some of its favourite flavours. They have flavours. Can you imagine that vapes have a flavour? Sure, it'd be a scent, wouldn't it? Yeah, they are dropping dessert and soft drink flavoured flavourings from their range. Sweet flavours based on treats and sugary beverages such as bubblegum, cotton candy, rainbow candy have already been dropped by Elf Bar, with more expected to follow. Some flavours, such as gummy bear, have been tweaked to be simply called gummy, but the saccharine flavour based on the gelatinous teddy bear shapes are also expected to be axed. The Chinese-owned Elf Bar and Lost Mary have thrived in the disposable vape market. Again, we're supposed to be getting rid of them, the disposable vape, because of the e-waste and, of course, the health issues. So yeah, no more sweet flavours. It's just ridiculous. All of it's ridiculous. It should all be ban everything. Ban everything. Meanwhile, I'm getting further and further away from the screen, so this is the story of prison psychologist Caroline Gorman. Here she is. So what's she been up to? Well, what hasn't she been up to? She admitted to engaging in professional misconduct. She had okey pokey with a former inmate who was jailed over an aggravated burglary. Gorman started treating the prisoner in September 2018, assessing him for clinical sessions, including a violent risk assessment, and signed these psychological reports until November 2019, when he was moved to another jail. and then he was released in October 2020 and contacted Miss Gorman on Facebook. Within 2 months, in January 2021, they were in an intimate and sexual relationship, which continues to this day. Right? So, of course, she was up. She was up before the board, wasn't she? VCAT reprimanded Miss Gordon on Monday for her behaviour, but it didn't suspend her registration as a psychologist. This is over in Australia. They must have different. Again, Daily Mail. I wish you'd mark your Australian stories with a little flag, but they never do. Basically, they've said, carry on, cobber, and bone a prisoner and carry on doing your job. So it's different over in Australia. It's just different. It's different. It's different. Oh no, Cadbury's axed another favourite. Oh blimey. Oh blimey. Apparently outraged fans are outraged, have taken to Twitter and other forms of social media. Remember, there are other social. Look, if I get closer, but then I'm too close. I can't read it all the way back there. People have been asking, why can't I find Whisper hot chocolate? I'll just do it like this, with the sun in my eyes. I'm going to have to pull the curtain. I'm sorry. I know it's unprofessional, but it doesn't matter because no one's watching it. It's really cool. I've kind of pulled it half over. I think I've got it today. I'm getting the hang of this curtain business. Well, anyway, people are missing Whisper hot chocolate. I didn't know it was a thing. Again, it's not. I think they're looking for it. The helicopters are above looking for Whisper hot chocolate. So they asked them on Twitter, Cadbury UK, why can't I find my favourite Whisper hot chocolate? Again, for those of you who aren't in the know, this is what it looks like. Hey, you learn something every day. And yeah, it's been discontinued. It's been discontinued. They're not making it anymore. They replied, the Whisper hot chocolate, Whisper Gold hot chocolate has been now discontinued. And of course, fans were outraged and weeping. You see? People just, I want my hot chocolate. So, there you go. What is the world coming to? Meanwhile, they reckon temperatures for 2023 will virtually be certain it'll be the hottest year in history. Excellent. Fantastic. He says, rubbing his hands together. So cold. So cold. Hottest year in history, but boy, the winters are bloody cold. But it doesn't matter. We've got to look at Britain's worst Yuletide decorations this year. Okay, I'm game. Let's have a look. This hasn't been stolen or anything. This is Stuart Carr. He's been doing proper research. This is a tree up in Greater Manchester. You've got to admit it's a bit lacklustre, isn't it? It's a bit lacklustre. What is that? A dozen lights. It's all the budget will go to, I'm afraid. You know. And meanwhile, in Deal in Kent, they've got this. Why bother? Again, budgets have been slashed. Yeah, they locals have been mocking it because it turns out the wrong tree was delivered to the council. Can you imagine the poor sod that got the other tree? He's probably in his living room now. Probably can't get to the front door. And yeah, this one's in Hattersley and Hyde. I know that tree. That's the one from Charlie Brown's Christmas. Christmas time is here again. And yeah, that's the same tree from a different angle. Meanwhile, a 30-foot high Christmas tree is in Warsaw town centre because it looks shabby. It looks shabby. They don't like it. It does look like it needs a prune, doesn't it? You know, it's the heavy metal Christmas tree. Rock and roll. And there it is from a different angle. So you go. Those are some of the worst Christmas trees and decorations coming to you from around the country. Well done, Daily Mail. Well done. And Stuart Carr asks, is there a rubbish Christmas tree where you live? And you can email him and send him your pictures. There you go, if you so wish. If you so wish. Meanwhile, TikTok news. A mother was surprised when she noticed something weird on her teenage daughter's hoodie. Right, she has 37,000 followers on TikTok, and she'd only just noticed this on the zippers. Right, she'd noticed the patterns on the zippers, and she thought that they were a bit inappropriate for her teenage daughters. I don't know what you think. It's I don't know. It's sort of an outline of a naked lady or a stripper or something. I reckon it could be a stripper, and I don't know. And apparently her daughter's been wearing it for a year, and she's only just noticed. And yeah, it even goes onto the patterns on the actual hoodie itself. You think you'd notice? Maybe she thought it was camouflage, you know, camouflage patterning. Maybe, I don't know. What else have we got? Meanwhile, fertility news in Uganda. A 70-year-old woman, right, has become the oldest woman to give birth in Africa after having IVF treatment. This is Safina Namakawaya, and yeah, she's the oldest woman in Africa to give birth. They delivered a baby boy and girl on Wednesday afternoon, and here she is. And they say the two babies are doing well and were delivered by caesarean section. Okay. Okay. Nothing more to add. What else have we got? Wow, that's good. We've got animal news. Meanwhile, we're going to Whipsy Beach in Newquay, and apparently this is near a development, a luxury housing development. When you see what's going to happen, you'll be surprised if anything's being developed. This is at 1:30. Yes, so 1:30 p.m. yesterday. Massive landslide. Look. It all comes down. That's the power of nature for you. And yeah, there you go. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, our Lord and Saviour, on X. He was at the Deal Book Summit hosted by the New York Times. He announced he regretted a November the 15th tweet where he endorsed an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. But then told the advertisers that have left his platform, including I think Disney, Bob Iger of Disney was there. He told them what to go fuck yourself. That's a really great way of endearing yourself, isn't it? I'm really sorry, but go fuck yourself. Do you think he's trying to destroy that platform? I think he might be. Meanwhile, London Underground has announced that 56% rise in crime. Yeah, that's in the past year. There were 10,836 crimes compared to 6,924 in the same period in 2022. That's nice, isn't it? Just stay home. Just stay home. And what else have we got? Oh, it's refreshed itself. Thanks, Dave. Oh, I'm just going. Where's the animal story? Where's the animal story? Got two, right? Brian Moody, right? He's famous in his hometown of Camelon in Falkirk in Scotland for his flock of turkeys. Yes, he often takes them for a walk. Mr. Moody, the turkey man, though, is looking for a new home for his flock of turkeys. The 76-year-old has become a popular sight, wandering with his birds. He previously kept greyhounds. How do you get from greyhounds to turkeys? Right? Yeah. So he had 50 birds at his peak, and he won awards across the country for his turkeys, like you do. But he's now suffering from ill health, and he's struggling to walk, and he's looking for a new home for his turkeys. Well, it is Christmas. It is Christmas, and I'm sure that a lot of people will help find a delicious, tasty home for his turkeys. Here he is. See one there? That one at the front is his favourite. That one's called Paxo. Yeah, trust me. And yeah, he's looking for a home. He said, I used to get catcalls and people making turkey noise at me, Brian laughs, but I'd always wave to them so they knew I wasn't grumpy. But now the turkeys are very popular and people have embraced them. It gives them a feel-good factor, not forgetting the taste-good factor. And people are always understanding. He said the birds cost Brian around £5 a week to feed, but he says he's never regretted it. His flock has shrunk in size over the years, rehoming some of the birds after he suffered a bout of ill health. But he hopes to encourage others to see the turkeys in a new light. They're just full of character. I wish I'd taken the hobby up a long time ago instead of the greyhounds, and the enjoyment has been tremendous. But I've had bad health issues and I can no longer keep them. And so yeah, he's looking for people to take them off his hands. But remember, a turkey's not just for Christmas. It's for Boxing Day, and maybe you can get it to last to the New Year as well. Meanwhile, Alfie the cat went missing. Here he is. This is Alfie the cat. He went missing from the house from a house on John Street in Droylsden in Greater Manchester in October 2021. Just disappeared. Right? And of course, her owner, Judith Moss, thought, I'm never going to see Alfie again. But the 13-year-old feline has been living a life of luxury. Right? There's a twist here. Because the cat has taken up residence at the John Street Social Club just down the road. And yeah, so there we go. Staff at the John Street Social Club have been looking after her. So she was just 100 metres away the entire time. Thought, I'm going to go somewhere else. And it was only when the cat hurt its leg that, well, she was reunited, because I guess they scanned a chip, found out who the owner was, and yeah. And here she is now. And I always thought that Alfie was a boy. But no, turns out she was a girl after all. But anyway, she's been reunited with with Alfie now, and yeah, 2 years living away from home, living elsewhere. Cheeky Alfie. I think I've done enough damage today. Anybody in? 11 people in. Crikey, it's nearly a party. Andrew's in. And he's in today. Andrew's in. He said, I just bought a CD from your lists, Porcupine Tree in absentia. So you should get some money. Oh, okay. Okay. Bruh. I'm sorry. There's a chill. I'm really cold. Runs in. He says, hi there. Hi, Clive. And he said, here comes the sun indeed. Oh, crikey. I'm so cold. Oh, I don't know if there was a bargain I spotted. I spotted a bargain. I'm going to have to find it now on Amazon for those who are interested, because when bargains come up, it's always good to... Hold it. Let me just find it. Here we go. And I know there might be some... it's still the same price. Good. It hasn't gone up. There may be some Jethro Tull fans out there in the audience. But if you like Aqualung, the Aqualung Special Edition has gone down to about 25 quid. If anybody wants to get a copy, and if you're a flipper, there you go. That's an affiliate link. Click on that. I'll get a penny if you buy it. You could buy it and flip it, you know, on eBay if you're interested. If you're a cheeky flipper like what I is, and that's that. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was the news. Killing the channel one video at a time. You know, you don't got to drink it up. Ta-ta.